Hey guys, I'm Robert, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to draw Lewis structures. Here we have CH4. The first thing I would do is draw a skeleton of the structure. CH4, it's made up of 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens. Hydrogen will never be the central atom, and since we know that, that's going to make carbon our central atom. So carbon is our central atom, and then we have 4 hydrogens surrounding it. So we have 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 3 hydrogen, and 4 hydrogen. Now that we have the skeleton of the structure made, we need to add up the total number of valence electrons. The number of valence electrons is the same as the element's group number. So carbon is in group 4 and it has 4 valence electrons. And hydrogen is in group 1 and it has 1 valence electrons. And now we just need to add that total up. So we have carbon. We know it has 4 valence electrons and we only have 1 carbon. So 4 times 1 equals 4. We have hydrogen. And we know hydrogen has 1 valence electron, and we have 4 hydrogens, and 1 times 4 equals 4. Now we need to add this total up. 4 plus 4 is 8. So we have 8 total valence electrons, but those valence electrons are ultimately going to form pairs. So instead of saying that we have 8 valence electrons, we can say that we have 4 pairs of valence electrons. So I'm going to write 4 pairs here. And the first thing I'm going to do is just simply connect all of these with a pair. So we have 1 pair here, another pair here, another pair here, and another pair here. And we use 1, 2, 3, 4. We use 4 pairs or 8 total valence electrons. And simply just by connecting all of these, it's completely finished at this point. And all of these lines we use for pairs, they are known as sigma bonds. So these lines are known as sigma bonds. And that's all we do. Here we have NH3. The first thing I would do is draw a skeleton of the structure. NH3, it's made up of 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogens. And as we know, hydrogen is never the central atom. So that's going to make nitrogen our central atom. So I'm just going to write nitrogen right here. And then we have 3 hydrogens surrounding it. So we have 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, and 3 hydrogens. And now that we have the skeleton of the structure made, we need to add up the total number of valence electrons. So nitrogen is in group 5 and it has 5 valence electrons, and hydrogen is in group 1 and it has 1 valence electrons. So we need to add that total up. So we have nitrogen, we know it has 5 valence electrons, and here we only have 1 nitrogen. 5 times 1 equals 5. We have hydrogen. Hydrogen has 1 valence electrons, and we have 3 hydrogens here, and 1 times 3 equals 3. We need to add this total up. 5 plus 3 is 8. So we have 8 total valence electrons, and ultimately those valence electrons are going to form pairs, so we can say that we have 4 pairs of valence electrons. So I'm going to write 4 pairs right here. So we have 4 pairs of total valence electrons. The first thing I'm going to do is connect all of these with a pair. So we have 1 pair here, another pair here, and another pair here. And simply by connecting them, we use 3 pairs. So we used 1, 2, 3, 3 pairs. So I'm going to subtract that here. Alright, so we started off with 4 pairs total, and just simply by connecting them, we used 3 pairs, and that leaves us with 1 pair left over. And that last pair is going to be a non-bonding pair, and it's going to be known as a lone pair of electrons. So I'm just going to put that as a little dots over the nitrogen. That's a lone pair of electrons, and I'm going to mark that here. And this structure is complete. We have H2O or water. The first thing I would do is draw up a skeleton of the structure. So H2O, it's made up of 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. As we know, hydrogen will never be the central atom. So that's going to make oxygen our central atom. So I'm just going to write oxygen here, and then we have 2 hydrogens surrounding it. So we got 1 hydrogen and then another hydrogen. And now that we have the skeleton of the structure made, we need to add up the total number of valence electrons. Oxygen, it has 6 valence electrons, and hydrogen has 1 valence electrons. So we just need to add that total up. So we have hydrogen, and we know it has 1 valence electron, and here we have 2 total hydrogens. So 1 times 2 equals 2. And we have oxygen, we know it has 6 valence electrons. We only have 1 oxygen here, so 6 times 1 equals 6. And then 2 plus 6 is 8. So we have 8 total valence electrons. And ultimately, these valence electrons are going to form pairs. So instead of saying we have 8 valence electrons, we can say that we have 4 pairs of valence electrons. So I'm just going to write 4 pairs right here. So we got 4 pairs. The first thing I'm going to do is connect these with a pair. We got 1 pair and 2 pair. And just by connecting them, we use 2 pairs. So I'm going to subtract that. Alright, so we start off with 4 pairs, and then we use 2 pairs by connecting it. And that's going to leave us with 2 pairs left over that we still need to use. And those last 2 pairs are going to be lone pairs of electrons. So we're just going to put them on the oxygen. So we have 1 lone pair here, and then another lone pair here. And we used up our 4 total pairs. We used up 1, 2, 3, 4. We used up our 4 total pairs, and this water molecule structure is done. And then this is just kind of extra. These hydrogens right here, they're going to form an angle of exactly 104.5 degrees. But other than that, this one is complete. That's a wrap for this video. If you guys want to go over any more examples, I'm linking part 2 down in the description. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helped you gain some improvements. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and peace out.